Hello, we are Group 23. I am Eutene and I'm joined by Raymond, and this is our final project. So we have decided to do our final project on Formula One racing statistics. So this is our front page. As you can see, there are 4 buttons: team statistics, driver statistics, race statistics, and then group information. So clicking on group information, we have our group info on the left and our ERD on the right. As you can see, there are 3 fact tables as well as 5 dimension tables. Going over the fact table, fact lap pit data basically shows numeric values on lap and pit information. Our fact race result show numerical value information on racers and the race. Fact constructor data shows numeric values on the team standings. And then our dimension tables for driver and constructor basically describe the team and the drivers. So driver name, driver nationality, as well as team name and team nationality. Our dimension tables for race and circuits basically tell us the track name as well as the location of the track and the time a certain race had taken place. Lastly, our status table shows us the results of a specific race. Moving on to our team statistics. As you can see on the top, we have 4 drop-down menus. We have our driver name menu. We have our constructor name menu, which is also the team name. We have our nationality menu. And lastly, our season menu. So going by season, you can see that in 2020, Mercedes had the most wins of 13. But as of the recent years, you can see that Red Bull has been dominant. You can see in the top graph the number of wins for each team. And the bottom left graph, you can see the top reasons on why teams don't finish a race. So each team has their own color, and as well as how many times each incident occurred for which team. In the bottom right, we have our average starting position and finishing position graph. And as you can tell from the graph, the starting position correlates with the finishing position, as teams that started closer to the front usually ended up finishing closer to the front. So when you click on the number of wins for a specific team, you can see that the other 2 graphs change, showing only information for that team. You can see the top reasons why Red Bull didn't finish the race in the 2022 season due to fuel pressure, gearbox, and collision damage. And you can also see their starting position and finishing position. And now if we click on the collision damage for Red Bull, you can see that they started 5th for that specific race and they did not end up finishing because of collision damage. So there is no finishing position point. Lastly, we have the constructors, which is basically a list of teams, and we can choose the information we want on a specific team, and that will light up the more details, which brings us to our drill through page. As you can see, it gives us more information on the team. You can see it gives us information on their car and the drivers that belong to that team, as well as the driver's information like date of birth, car number, and nationality. And on the right, you can see the race information for that team for the 2022 season. You can see the races they have participated in, as well as the starting finishing position for each race, and points gained from each race. And now I will be passing it on to Raymond to talk about the driver statistics and the race statistics.
So going over the driver statistics, at the top we have the same four drop-down menus, starting with the driver names, the team names, the nationalities of the drivers, as well as the corresponding season. So in 2022, we can see in the matrix on the right the list of the top drivers in the corresponding season, as well as the total points accumulated throughout the season for each driver. Off of that, we have our donut visual on the left, and it shows us which nationality has the best drivers. So it is filtered based off of the top drivers, top number of points. So we can see British and Dutch drivers have gained the most points throughout the 2022 season. On the bottom left, we have the top reasons drivers didn't finish a race, such as collision damage, collision accidents, engine, and gearbox. And clicking through it shows the respective drivers and their reasons for not finishing the race back at the matrix. On the far right, we have a multi-card, and it shows the total number of wins for the driver, as well as their top speed, and their total points accumulated for the season. So for example, I can do the drop-down menu for the drivers and select Lewis Hamilton, and we can see for the 2022 season, he did not have any wins. His top speed was 225. As well, he has accumulated 240 points. Using the matrix or any visual by selecting your desired driver, we can select more details to take a deeper dive into their statistics. So going into Lewis Hamilton, we notice the car changes corresponding to the Mercedes car. We have information about the driver as well as the team, their date of birth, nationality, as well as car number. On the right, we have another matrix, and it goes over all of the races that the driver has gone through for the 2022 season, as well as its starting position, finishing position, the number of points gained for the particular circuit or race, as well as the top speed at that race. Moving over to race statistics, this goes over the circuit. So at the top, we have the same three drop-down menus, the driver name, constructor name, as well as the seasons. And we also have a list of the racetracks that they raced in. So on the far right, we have the number of times raced on a particular track. We can see that the Autodromo was the most raced track from the data from 1950 until now. We can also change the season to 2022 and see all of the tracks raced for this season. On the far left, by selecting a racetrack, it'll give us a visual map of where it is located. So this one is in Japan, and this would be the name of the city. In the middle, we have the constructor, so the teams as well as their finish position based on the track selected. So during this race in Japan, we see that Red Bull had both of their drivers finish first and second. Changing this would change the corresponding visual. And in the very middle, we have the team. that record the fastest lap for the track. So if we were to click over here, you could see this track was in Canada, as well as Ferrari holds the fastest lap. Thank you.